Hello everybody and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs and today I have these really pretty thank you cards to share with you, so let's jump right in. So as always, I am going to cut down my cardstock to start. These are pieces of watercolor cardstock that were originally cut to 5x7, but I don't use them in that size with this specific paper because it doesn't take as much water as I'd like it to. So I opted to cut those down to actually be the front of these cards. So they're going to be cut down to a 1/4 inch smaller than the A2 base, which the base is 5.5 by 4.25 when scored. And I didn't originally cut black mats for this, but I end up adding them because I wanted the colors to pop a bit more, which you would have seen from the opening pictures. So I'm going to cut those later as well. But for now, I thought that I was just going to do the watercolor cardstock. So I'm going to put it in my Misti, and this is the Simon Says Stamp Sparkle Strands background. This would work with any kind of fun background. Ideally, pick one with interesting kind of abstract texture, because the idea is to add some interest into the background, but not steal the show from the colors in the leaves. So I'm just picking something kind of abstract. I mean, it's just the strands. It just kind of goes across the front. But anything fun and abstract would work here. And if you don't have watercolor, like something you could do watercolor with, you could absolutely do ink smooshing. There's so many things you could, I'm going to do ink smooshing, but you could also do watercolor here. You could do sprays. You could do really kind of anything, ultimately, just depending on how you want to make the background work. You could try to do this with alcohol inks, although it's harder to emboss on alcohol like Yupo, just because it's plastic. So if you add heat, that can cause issues. But this would be a cool way to do some interesting techniques with Yupo. Maybe I'll have to figure out how I can make that work. But anyway, so for this, I did heat emboss it on the background. I'm using white embossing powder. You could use clear because the paper, of course, is white. But my ink pad is dirty, so I find white to be the easiest way to make sure that you can't see any of that kind of dirtiness from the ink pad that comes through. I like that it's dirty because it makes it easier for me to see when the background is fully covered, but you do have to be aware of that. So if you want to use clear, it kind of gives you like a dirtier look underneath. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. And then I do have my anti-static powder tool there as well, just to help any of the powder not stick in areas I don't want it to. But if you do have that problem, you can just use like a clean paintbrush works, like a small one, or alternatively, I have used my craft pick. If you have a really small area, I've used that to kind of just remove extra embossing powder if it's sticking somewhere you don't want it. So keep that in mind as well. That also works. So of course I am going to melt this until it is smooth and melted. It will look a lot more glossy instead of as matte as it ends up looking. It's hard to see on screen with this because I am doing, it's white on white, so it's not as easily visible as it is when I'm doing, like a metallic or something kind of like that. But I just love watching the melting process. I do find too, though, with the watercolor cardstock, you get a bit of a different texture. I find because the ink absorbs faster into the watercolor cardstock, sometimes the embossing powder isn't quite as obvious. It doesn't sit up quite as high. Maybe is that how I want to say it? But that's okay for this because, again, like I said, this is not about the texture in the background. This is more about how the watercolors, or in this case, the ink smooshing, goes onto that panel. That's more what I'm focusing on. This is just adding texture. And if you don't have any background stamps, you can totally skip this step and just do the ink smooshing to create a really fun background. This just adds different texture and dimension. So keep that in mind. Use what you have on hand. You guys know I'm a big believer about using what you have. Bust out your stash and give it some fun life with a fun set of cards. So I'm going to do my favorite rainbow colors. I have a piece of acetate here. Actually, it's packaging from, I think it was something Tim Holtz, a little stamp set or something. And I'm going to use that to just ink smoosh the colors onto my watercolor cardstock. And I have my favorite rainbow colors in picked raspberry, carved pumpkin, squeezed lemonade, twisted citron, broken china, and wilted violet. And I'm going to do, like you guys saw in the opening pictures, 2 with the first 3 colors of the rainbow and then 2 with the last 3 colors. And yes, I know the rainbow is not actually 6 colors, it's 7, but this is the rainbow that works the easiest for me when I'm trying to make the colors go together. So This is kind of what I go for. And I am also going to bring the last color. So in this case, Squeeze Lemonade on this one, I'm going to add it on the bottom and the top, kind of around the area of color, just because I thought that it would be fun to have a little more yellow at the top. And of course, at this point, these aren't dry, so the colors are blending as I add them. This is why I opted to do 2 cards with the different colors on each, because I didn't want, if you know color theory, yellow and purple will make brown or like a muddy gray color. And I don't want to have to worry about that, because otherwise you would need to dry these in between. You would need to, do different steps to make sure your colors couldn't get muddy together. And so instead, I am doing it like this. And there is the chance of Twisted Citron, because it is a quite yellow green. You can have the purple create kind of a funny color. And I do get a little bit of that, but honestly, I don't really mind, because it's just a little bit of added interesting color. But this is the easiest way to stop any of your colors creating mud together. If you pick colors that are next to each other on the color wheel, so in this case, pink, yellow, and orange are very close to each other. They're all next to each other, and green, purple, and blue are the same. So this just helps you keep that mud from happening and still have some blended in your colors. So just something to keep in mind. If you're at all worried about that, only pick 2 colors and then pick different shades within it. That can be a really fun way to do it too. You could do it in, like, say, pinks and oranges, and just pick a couple of different pinks and oranges and add some interest. Like, there's no right or wrong here. You do whatever works with whatever you happen to own in your stash. Now, I opted to use the inks instead of the oxides for this, just because the inks give more of a translucent look. So it gives you more of that watercolor effect, as opposed to the oxides, which are very opaque. So they tend to go on a bit differently. Again, if you own the oxides, try it out with them. Try it out with whatever inks you have on hand. I'm sure that they will be beautiful, especially if they are water-based ink. So you get that meld and blend that goes together. So here I'm just going to flick on a little bit of Perfect Pearls. I have it mixed up in my mini mister bottle, and I'm doing this while my panels are still wet so that it kind of blooms a little bit within the colors. It just makes it a little bit more subtle as well. And then for my leaf, I've brought in the largest of the Tim Holtz leaf Fragments die, and I'm going to cut that out 4 times. I ran it through my switch with the chrome detail plate just because I find it easier, especially with a glitter cardstock like I'm using here. And then that just cuts all those kind of details out of the center of those leaves. You could, of course, use a leaf that isn't fragmented. You guys know how much I love texture. So this is one of those things where this leaf is just, it adds all sorts of fun texture. So I really like it. But you could, of course, use what you have. If you don't have any leaves, you could easily do a butterfly here. You could do a flower. There's so many things you could do. A feather, whatever you have on hand. Use what you have, and that will create a really cool card, because it's kind of like an abstract card with some beautiful colors. And then the sentiment could be anything you wanted as well. You could leave the sentiment off and add it later, because we're just going to gently tuck it under the leaf, so it doesn't actually need to even be added at this stage. I just like to show you guys completed cards, but my videos always intend to give you inspiration to hopefully look at your stash in a different way, hopefully get you to bust out goodies you haven't used and give them some love. So keep that in mind. Look at your stash and see what looks good to you. Now for the sentiment, as I said, I went with thank you. So I stamped that down twice on each of these pieces of cardstock. I probably could have, used the same one, but I am going to cut them out. So I wanted to give myself a little bit of room to cut around the sentiment, making sure that I can get that kind of label-esque look, because that is what I'm going to cut it down into. And it is, like I said, thank you. Again, you could do happy birthday. You could do, just saying hello. You could do, pretty much anything, except I personally, if I'm doing a sympathy card, I generally don't go with super vibrant colors, but depending on who you're giving it to, maybe you could. It really would depend on the person you're sending it to. But in my case, I tend to not do that, just because it's not usually something you're adding bright colors to. But again, completely up to the person you're sending it to. I mean, I love vibrant colors, so that's kind of always going to be my jam. But whatever ends up working. And I am going to cut this down into labels. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit out of frame here. I didn't mean to be. I didn't realize that with those inks on the desk, that it put my trimmer a little bit out of the frame of the camera. But all I'm doing is lining it up with the edge of the plastic. Like that's the part you put your hand on, because of course it doesn't line up with the bottom because it's too small. So all I've done is kind of line it up against the plastic of the hand protection area, and I'm lining up the letter to that area. So that kind of gives me that knowing of how much space I should have, and then hopefully it should let me have even spacing as well, so that I can kind of have an even border all the way around. Of course, there are label dies. You could do that as well. You know, you can trim it like me, or you can use a label die. There's loads of ways you could do this. And then I'm going to cut down the black mat. Like I said, I wasn't originally going to add the black mat, but I just felt like it really makes the colors pop. I love how much it helps those vibrant colors stand out even more. So you could absolutely skip this step if that's not your jam. But I did cut this down to be about 1/8 of an inch smaller than the A2 base, so that I get a nice thin border all the way around both the colored panel and the base of the card, just because I like the layers. And then I brought in some thin 3D foam squares here. This is just because I want a little bit more dimension. It is a fairly simple card design, but I think that it really stands up and it's so pretty. So I wanted to pop the leaf up a little bit. So I'm kind of, strategically placing some thin squares all the way around. These are, I believe they're about 1/8 of an inch in thickness, so they're quite thin. And I love that for this because it gives you the dimension without adding a whole bunch of bulk to the card, because it is kind of a light and airy design. So I want it to be, quite straightforward and pretty. And then I did need to cut a couple of these little guys in half just so I could put them up at the tip of the leaf. Otherwise there would be nothing holding that area up at all. So I kind of cut them in half just to kind of add that interest there, so that there was no issues with the leaf kind of tipping. I don't know. It's so thin of dimension that it probably wouldn't have been a problem, but it's one of those things where I like to make sure that everything adheres nicely. So then we just have to remove the backing to all of the foam squares, which is always a bit fun because they like to stick. But then we get to actually start designing the card, and I think that they turned out really pretty. I do have them really far off to the left side so that they cover the least amount of your watercolored looking ink smushes, just because that's kind of what's going to draw your eye, right? The whole idea is the focal of those ink smushes. So with that, I don't want the leaf to be taking up a big portion of it. I mean, you could have done it out of vellum if you really wanted to. I thought about it, but I didn't love the look. So I ended up going with this glitter instead. So that is a white glitter cardstock. And I thought that really looked pretty on the card front with these subtle colors. And then, like I said, we are going to add that thin black border. And I just love how it makes everything pop even more. Especially it ties in that thank you sentiment as well, which is quite pretty. And I just adhere those really gently to the leaves. I guess I didn't record that part apparently. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully that's not a big deal breaker for you. But I just cut them down into the trimmed area, and then I glued them and gently stuck them under the leaf so that they're not covering the actual word of the thank you. It's just up right next to it, and it kind of looks like it's just coming out of the side of the thank you. That is why I think you easily could change the sentiment. If you didn't know what you wanted to add at this stage, you could leave that off and add it later because you're just going to tuck it gently under the leaf. So it really could say anything that you wanted it to say. So that kind of is what I thought for this design. So I love how these cards turned out. They're pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but I really think they're eye-catching and beautiful. So I am really happy with them. I think they're really, really pretty, and like I said, I'm just happy with how they turned out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this. We're just going to adhere all the bases on, and then of course I am going to add some gems to them. I brought in some black pearls from, I believe this calls from Confetti. I'm pretty much positive that's where they're from. But as always, everything I use is linked and listed down in the description, so you can go and check out anything you want to. The embellishments are always at the end. I try to list everything kind of in the order of using it so that it's hopefully fairly straightforward for you guys to find. But yeah, so that is the card design. I brought in 3 of these really pretty black pearls and just added them on top, so that there was just a little bit more of that black being tied in around the sentiment, so that it kind of made your eye move around the card, hopefully successfully. So I love them. So hopefully you guys enjoyed them. This is the card I have for you. I hope you leave me a like, leave me a Oh boy, it's been a while. It's been a hot minute since I've edited a video. I hope you'll leave me a like, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do new videos every Monday and Thursday. And now I have the Saturday vlogs. The last one just happened. The next one should be up on the 22nd. So hopefully you'll enjoy checking out that content as well and hanging out with me just a little bit more. Thank you guys so much. Oh, and I have decided that I will be doing Spooktember for everybody who is really excited about the Halloween cards. So because my 12 weeks of Christmas starts in October, we will be doing the Spooktember so that we can do some Halloween cards. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.